Good evening, it's Monday, June 29th. I'm Sharna Bobi, and this is Closing Price from FNDATA. We provide the daily data read on luxury and collectibles. This episode of Closing Price is brought to you by FNDATA, the market intelligence platform for insights on the luxury market and related public equities. With a membership, you can unlock access to dashboards, reports, and cutting-edge insights to keep your finger on the pulse of the market and drive your competitive advantage. Learn more at altafndata.com/membership. Today's signal is a tell. The macro storm that hammered luxury last week eased on two fronts at once. The United States and Iran stepped back from confrontation, and the AI trade that drove last week's sell-off came roaring back, sending the Nasdaq up nearly 2%. The broad markets rallied hard, and yet the luxury mega caps sat it out. LVMH, Hermès and Kering all drifted lower on the day, even as the market surged around them. From our analysis, the tech-led liquidation that dragged these names down last week and the tech-led rebound lifting the market today are both about chips and risk appetite, not about secondary market demand for luxury goods. Let's zoom in on the macro, which turned decisively risk on. The Nasdaq closed up 1.8% at around 25,820, and the S&P up more than 1% as the AI and chip names that led last week's rout came surging back. With the Haven trade unwinding, gold fell about 1.6% to around $4,030, oil firmed almost 2% to a little over $70, and the dollar slipped. Against that backdrop, you would expect last week's oversold luxury names to bounce. Most did not. The European complex was mixed, and the giants lagged. LVMH closed down 0.7%, Hermès down 0.2%, and Kering down 0.5%. The exceptions came from the jeweler Richemont, up 1.7%, with Brunello and Burberry each higher. So, on a powerful up day for the broad market, the biggest luxury houses went the other way. Now, the constant is that while the equity tape chased the AI rebound, the demand side in the secondary markets kept printing strength. Today alone brought two fresh records from the very top of the markets. In London, the summer auctions delivered the city's biggest haul in a decade, led by a $63.9 million Modigliani painting. And in Paris, Christie's set a world record for an online handbag sale. That is the auction Saleroom, where luxury consumer demand shows up, making new highs on the very day the listed luxury name slipped. So here's the read. Today was not the equities converging up toward demand. It was almost the opposite. The broad markets rallied on tech, the luxury mega caps lagged, and the resale auction markets, the only true measure of luxury secondary markets demand, made records. The lesson repeats from a new angle. The luxury equity tape trades on macro and sector flows, with the AI trade, the dollar, and risk appetite. The demand it is supposed to represent shows up in the Saleroom and is currently at its highs. The test from here is unchanged. Let's watch the resale markets. If it holds at these highs, the last week's sell-off was macro, and the mega caps will catch up. But if it rolls over, that is the warning. Tonight, the auction Saleroom is winning that argument. For the data behind today's signals, the FNDATA Data Sandbox gives you hands-on access to our market dashboards and datasets, so you can test the divergence and concepts yourself. Book a demo at altafndata.com/book or reach us anytime at info@altafndata.com. I've also added a link in the description of this episode. That's it on Closing Price for today, Monday, June 29th. Subscribe to get notifications on new episodes, and if you love the show, please leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I'm Sharna Bobi from FNDATA. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Thank you for listening.